I think the most important thing is that we need to be compassionate towards each other. I mean, there's so much shaming and blaming and prescriptions and, the reason I entitled the book Exercised is that we make people feel exercised about exercise. We make them feel uncomfortable and unconfident and shamed. And here, you and I are having this conversation, but I can tell that you take, I know I've listened to enough of your podcast. You care about your health, and you care about diet, you care about exercise. And people may look at you and think, gosh, I wish I was like him, but it's just not me. I'm not there, right? And they may feel put off by our conversation. And I think that so often these discussions make people feel bad about what they're doing. And I think that what we need to emphasize is that if you put a chocolate cake and an apple in front of me here, I would want to eat the chocolate cake, and I might eat the apple only because you're there. But if you weren't there, I would eat the chocolate cake, right? And when I'm in my building at Harvard, my office is on the 5th floor of this old Victorian building. Every single day I want to take the elevator. And the only reason I take the stairs is that if anybody catches me in the elevator, I'll be a hypocrite. It's not that I don't want to take the elevator. I do want to take the elevator, right? I guess you guys say lift, right? And we make people feel bad for taking the elevator, right? They shouldn't feel bad. It's an instinct. And so I think we have to figure out ways to help people without shaming them and without blaming them and without bragging and whatever, talking about the marathon they ran or this, that, or the other. Make them feel less uncomfortable about the topic and realize that you don't have to swim the English Channel or run a marathon or join your WhatsApp group and do crazy HIIT workouts every day. By the way, you don't need to do HIIT workouts every day to get the benefit. Instead, just taking the stairs in your building every day. And, anything is better than nothing, and you'll get benefits from that. And I hope that that's the message that needs to get out. Right? Anything is better than nothing. And if you can get started on that pathway, then it'll eventually become self-rewarding. And that leads me to the other topic that we didn't talk about, which is that the reward system is linked to it. You and I, we go for, I'm really looking forward to my run tomorrow morning in the park. I love running Central Park. It's one of the best places in the world to run. Fantastic view at the top. It's just gorgeous, right? But when I run Central Park tomorrow, I'm going to get a big dopamine hit. My body's going to produce all this dopamine, which is the molecule that says, do that again, right? It's a reward. Gamblers get dopamine hits, right? People who eat chocolate cake get a dopamine hit, right? But if I were unfit and overweight, I wouldn't get that dopamine hit. And so when people start exercising, they don't get the reward that people who are fit and accustomed to doing it get. And then they're made to feel bad, like, you didn't enjoy your run around Central Park? Well, it takes months, if not years, before you actually get that reward.
Really?
Yeah, because just like being overweight causes you to become insensitive to insulin, you become insensitive to all kinds of other hormones and neurotransmitters, and dopamine is one of them. So it's not an instant benefit, right? It's hard. And so we need to be compassionate again towards people who are struggling to become fit and struggling to get the reward. And also, if you're overweight and you run around Central Park, it's like if I were carrying weights and running around Central Park, it'd be much harder, right? It's challenging. And so once you get into that state, it's hard to get back into the state of activity. So we need as a society to help those folks rather than judge them.